Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're reacting to how Michael Jordan evolved as a scorer. I'm excited for this one, man. Michael Jordan is known as the greatest scorer of all time, and I want to know the evolution of it. He didn't just come out of the gates as the best, did he? Did he? I don't know. I didn't just say Diddy, by the way. Party like a Diddy party. That's not what I said. I know I'm a LeBron fan, but that's not what I said. Chill out, bro. Um, Anyway, if you're new around here, I started watching basketball around 2010. Never did my due diligence to go back and look at the legends of the past, so I'm finally been doing that the last month. Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. I'm starting there, and I'm gonna expand out after. But yeah, dude, let's check out how Michael Jordan evolved as a scorer. Let's go,
Jordan is considered by many as the greatest of all time.
bro. Is this the quality, or is Michael? Yeah, my computer's tripping. I'm at 360. What the heck? There we go.
Michael Jordan is considered by many as the greatest of all time. The six-time NBA champion never once lost in the NBA Finals. He started dominating right when he came into the league and continued to dominate until he retired. But what was it that allowed him to dominate his entire career? And how did he evolve his game to continue to get better as each year passed? Coming into the NBA, a skinny
Give me the evolution.
kid named Michael Jordan took the league by storm, averaging 28 points per game as a rookie. What made Jordan so special early on was his uber athleticism combined with skill that we had never really seen before. Jordan had this ability to take off at almost any given moment and seemed to just soar through the air as he took flight. His game early on was very much so built around his athleticism. He could take flight off of either 1 foot or 2 feet for a dunk. Jordan had this quick burst of speed where he could easily drive by a defender, and once he got downhill, take off in an instant to rise up for a dunk. There seemed to be almost no setting where he couldn't take off in a second. Watch how he flies down the court, and if we pause right here, you would probably assume with 3 defenders around him and the angle he's at that this will end up in a layup. But instead,
I've played this game before where it's like, do you think it'll be a layup or a dunk or a pass?
he quite literally just flies
And I never predicted correctly.
through the air and dunks it. What was so impressive was that he could take off from these incredibly awkward positions, taking off down the lane through 4 defenders, jumping off his left foot on the left side of the rim, and turning in mid-air to face away from the hoop with his back to the defender and throw down a one-hand backwards dunk over.
That's insanity, dude. Run that back.
Jumping off his left foot on the left side of the rim and turning in mid-air to face away from the hoop with his back to the defender and throw down a one-hand backwards dunk over him. This contributed
Did y'all just hear that?
to more than just dunks. He could attack, take off, and almost float in the air over the defense to lay the ball up. Just watch how he jumps off too and literally floats over the help side defender, adjusting his shot to finish the layup. When he rose up to shoot, he could quite literally rise up over defenses to lay up the ball or get a shot off. When he attacked, he had this slithery driving ability that allowed him to just slide right by the defense and get to the basket. Here he's being guarded by Dominique Wilkins, and he's able to rip right, just barely squeezing between Dominique and the out of bounds line, and gets in front of him to rise up for this dunk.
It's crazy how, like, tight of a spot he's able to get to, but also the fact that he's able to elevate to a dunk off of barely coming, like, having barely any room on the baseline and still finishing with that nice of a dunk is crazy.
For how young and athletic he was, he played with great patience and pace. Here he slowly dribbles off the screen, waiting for the perfect time to attack before attacking right by both defenders and getting to the rim for a layup. He knew exactly the right moment to attack, jogging up the ball and basically accelerates with 2 dribbles right through traffic past everyone to get a layup. When he rose up around the rim, he had some great touch to pair with his athleticism. Jordan could attack down the lane, adjusting his shot in the air and seem unbothered. Watch how on this fast break, the defender wraps up Jordan. Yet despite being fouled and having the ball at his hip, Jordan is able to flick the ball up while falling away from the basket and still gently touch the ball off the glass and into the hoop. When
That shot right there shows me that he's probably got the greatest touch in NBA history.
you combine his touch with all his other athletic features and ability to get down the lane, it made for some incredible finishes. He basically combines it all here, patiently waiting to drive before turning the corner, sliding right past the defender, floating in the air as he takes off with the entire defense surrounding him, and floats the ball over all of them and makes it. We see a great example of it here, where he gets past the first defender, drawing 3 help side defenders where he floats over all of them as he adjusts his shot in the air, and gently touches the ball off the glass as he gets fouled for the and one. This only continued to help him score throughout his career, getting more advanced throughout the years, ripping through, rising up, and swinging the ball from his left to his right hand, and then finishing the swing layup with his inside hand on the left side.
Dude, these slow, because I've been watching a lot of highlights that are normal speed. Watching everything in slow-mo makes it look so much more poetic.
As he got older, he became much more fluid on his attacks and takeoffs, taking off of one foot and throwing down this poster slam over the help side defender, and ripping past the defender and getting his hand right to the rim to avoid his shot getting blocked by the help side. But later in his career, he didn't quite have the takeoff he once had. While he was still incredibly athletic during his last 3 seasons with the Bulls, we can notice that he wasn't quite soaring through the air like he did in his younger years. Earlier in his career, a fast break like this would have just resulted in a dunk, but instead he jumps off 2 for a layup. Another example here where he gets the ball under the rim, and this used to result in him just rising up to dunk it, but now instead he opts for the reverse layup and doesn't really get as high off the ground. But this didn't hinder his scoring ability or dominance on the court. He found new ways to take control of the game. Later on in his career, he learned to use his body and play off 2 feet, learning to absorb contact on the drive from the defender while continuing to attack to get to the rim and take off in a more controlled setting off of 2. Off the catch here, he rips, jumps off of 2, absorbing the contact of the 2 defenders, and finishes the layup. Later on, Jordan had a much stronger frame, allowing him to absorb contact, drive through multiple defenders while jumping off 2, and still staying on balance to finish the shot. Compare this to earlier on where he was much more likely to jump off of 1 foot for takeoff. Him learning to play more off of 2 feet translated in a game built more around jump shooting compared to athleticism. You can tell the jump shot used to be more of a last resort option, as he just continuously dribbled in place before realizing he doesn't have anything and just pulls the jumper. Another example here, he takes 1 dribble to his left, doesn't create any space, with his body not even facing the direction of the hoop, and jumps from this position to shoot the jump shot and makes it. Even a deeper jumper like this in front of the 3-point line, he was only taking it the defense sagged off and allowed him to shoot. The mid-range jumper was the first step to the evolution of his jump shot, building his game around these mid-range pull-up jumpers where he rises up over the defense and shoots it over them, slowly adding moves like this hezzy into a hard between the legs step back jumper, making some incredibly difficult shots in the mid-range as he takes 2 dribbles left, spins back right, and shoots this 1-leg fadeaway as he falls down and makes it.
My gosh, dude.
In his last few years with the Bulls, he became much more comfortable pulling up for these longer range shots.
It is interesting to see how he went from like, I'm just a pure athlete with the greatest vertical of all time, I'm just going to dunk on everyone, to I now have a bigger frame, I got more muscle, I've got more mid-range, like transitioning to mid-range versus just attacking with dunks every time. I feel like that elevated his game because I feel like players can get complacent. Like Shaquille O'Neal, he's like, I'm bigger than everybody. I'm just going to bulldoze my way down there instead of learning how to do a mid-range shot. And I feel like that's what separates MJ from a lot of physically gifted people, is he took his gifts, but he didn't just rely on that. He learned additional skills to make himself more of a complete player. Love it.
This became a staple part of his game, shooting way more 2s with range, becoming more comfortable shooting from beyond the arc with his catch and shoot jump shot, where literally a wide open 3 beforehand might have caused hesitation to shoot despite being wide open. He even found simpler ways to get to his pull-up, as he changes speed to attack, then quickly stops to rise up for the jump shot before the defender can even get off the ground, or using a 1 dribble right, pull back to his left with a crossover to shoot the basketball, while still getting to his 1 dribble pull-up, slightly fading back so he has enough room to get the shot off. This evolved into his post game, where the post fade became one of his go-to moves later on in his career. He became exceptional with this fadeaway jumper out of the post, using his body to back his defender down and then turn to shoot the jumper as he was falling away. He developed great patience with this, backing down his opponent, waiting for the perfect opportunity to turn into the paint and shoot the fall away jumper. He would learn to use this off the drive as he attacks, makes a half spin fake one way, and then turns back the other way for the fadeaway jump shot.
Mm.
Early on, he didn't have as much of a post game, which is typical for younger players, not really using his body on this post up and kind of just turning and using his jumping ability to get around the defender to shoot. As he did develop, he wasn't using as much patience early on, quickly faking one way to shoot the other, driving downhill just to stop, fake one way, and turn back in the other direction as he falls away. Compare this to later in his career, where he was much more patient at using his body to back his defender down, before finally having enough space to flow into the post fade.
I was gonna say, dude, I feel like if he didn't make this change, his knees, his ankles, like everything would have given out a lot sooner. Because if you look at the aggressive nature of like some of the way he played in the past,
As much patience early on, quickly faking
like that's gotta break everything down. And then
one way to shoot the other, driving
here.
downhill just to stop, fake one way, and
Yeah.
turn back in the other direction
Crazy.
as he falls away. Compare this to later in his career, where he was much more patient at using his body to back his defender down, before finally having enough space to flow into the
That's
post fade.
way more doable if you want to play 82 games a year and not have continual injuries, like using the off arm to get the defender off a little bit, using the muscle he put on to get the defender off a little bit.
This under control pace and poise he played with later on was a direct result of the improvements of his handle. Early in his career, Jordan handled the ball in almost an awkward manner. We would see some slick moves like this with his hezzy into a triple between the legs then pull up jump shot, but he relied a lot on his quick first step to explode past the defender as he draws a foul here. And when he couldn't just get a burst of speed right off the first dribble, it might look a little bit more awkward, using these dribble combos that weren't the most fluid, until finally he gets down to the paint and throws up this ridiculous layup and makes it. Even here, it almost looks like he's being instructed to do a cone drill. Take one dribble right, make a between the legs dribble, take one dribble left, and shoot the ball. Jordan never really developed a bag, but he had these simple moves to flow into to create off the dribble, using a double in and out on the fast break to get by for a dunk, attacking left, and then crossing over right, only to cross back over to his left to shoot a pull-up jump shot. You can tell
I mean, I would call that a bag.
how much smoother his moves got as he got older, going from between the legs hanging in the air, then using one quick crossover to rise up to shoot. Learning to be under complete control while creating space, crossing over from right to left attacking, then spinning back right as his defender tries to cut him off to flow into a jump shot. All of this led to Jordan dominating his competition. Younger Jordan's game was built mainly around athleticism with his speed and high-flying jumping ability. While older Jordan could still get up to throw down, his game was built more so off of pace, skill, and using his body to get to his jump shot. I'd say during his first 3 championships from 1990 to 93, MJ had the perfect blend of skill and athleticism. He was still incredibly athletic and could jump out the gym with some high-flying dunks, yet showcased a very polished skill set that allowed him to create off the dribble, finish at the rim, and get to his jumper. Regardless, he dominated his entire career, finding a new way to dominate as each year passed. Like Jordan, many other star players evolved their game to dominate throughout the years, which is how they became all-time greats. So if you would like to watch a similar video on how Kobe Bryant evolved as a scorer, click on this video right here.
I might have to do that. Dang, man. What a good video. Huge shout out to JT Breakdowns for breaking down how cool the evolution of MJ's scoring abilities came about. That was dope, dude. That was dope. It's cool to see someone not get complacent just with their abilities. I think this has been the knock on LeBron often, is that he for too long relied on I'm bigger, faster, and stronger than you, and I'm just gonna bully my way to the basket, and that's why he lost in 07, because the Spurs were like, okay, we'll clog the lane, shoot. Or in 2011, again, like he wasn't evolving in the way that he needed to, even though his athletic ability and his strength was at its prime still. There's certain skills that he could have just made himself better at earlier in his career to be able to get over the hump a little sooner. So really cool breakdown. Michael Jordan, I don't know if anyone's ever evolved this well. I mean, Kobe Bryant may have, because Kobe often, modeled his game after Jordan. But I'm curious to see how other players evolved. So let me know if there's any other cool videos like that down in the comments below. Let me know what y'all think about JT breakdowns and how he put this together. Personally, I loved it. But yeah, man, hope y'all have a great day, night, whatever time of day it is for you. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Doses!